All right, Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Shai, Hashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, others, a great millstone. Shalom to the Akim they're pushing the word of sincerity and in truth. Yeah, I just want to do this lesson in regards to, and the nations were mad. You know, I put China, which Lord willing, I might just do like a little mini series. I could do Russia, could do Iran, back to back. But right now I'm going to focus on China. And I was listening to a video, and they were speaking about the century of humiliation and how the Chinese are angry, and they pretty much got a chip on his shoulder against the United States of America. Fast forward into today, you see these major tariffs that's taking place. You see that China's not backing down from the U.S. You have BRICS nations, which China is one of the letters abbreviated within that. To combat the West, you know, Western banking, Western enterprises, Western functioning, the other nations, other powerful nations, superpowers, are no longer associating or are looking to distance themselves from the United States of America. You know, even this whole thing with tariffs, which is a form of a trade war. You know, which is still war. You know, these nations are pretty much making declarations. The scriptures speak about wars and rumors of wars, and these are the starting points. Before a major conflict takes place, you will see resource wars. You have it's different forms, proxy wars, you know, before the major conflict takes place. So I just want to read a little bit on this. You know, it says the century of humiliation was a period of Chinese history beginning with the First Opium War and ending in 1945, which that was World War II, with China, then the Republic of China, emerging out of the Second World War as one of the Big Four and established as a permanent member of the UN Security Council, or alternately ending in 1949 with the founding of the People's Republic of China. The century-long period is typified by the decline, defeat, and political fragmentation of the Qing dynasty and the subsequent Republic of China, which led to demoralizing foreign intervention, annexation, and subjugation of China by Western powers, Russia and Japan. Yeah, so when they got associated with these different nations that was outside of their so-called jurisdiction, they suffered just as we are, you know. Look at us in the West. You know, when these Jakes have subscribed to the ways of the so-called white man and his system, man, Jake has degenerated. You know, a lot of these here, especially here in Atlanta. Atlanta is the home of homosexuality, transgenderism, just freakism, Epicureanism, and these men are weak. You know, you see the simplicity, you see the energy is just suppressed or just totally sucked out of these Jakes, man. You know, because they follow this man's system. Now, Esau, he's big on propaganda, which means to spread. And you have a few examples of this imagery of Esau and his propaganda even back then. It says European powers plan to cut up China for themselves. Germany, Italy, the British Empire, Austria, Hungary, Russia, and France are represented by Wilhelm II, Umberto, John Bull, Franz Joseph in the rear, Nicholas II, and Emile Lubot. The U.S., represented by Uncle Sam, opposed this, also wanting to retain power in China. You see? And they chopping up. You even have the, with Africa, where they was pretty much dividing the pie. I forget the scrambling of Africa, if I'm not mistaken, where the U.S. was just pretty much chopping, you know, through the different European crowns and the European powers, just cutting up, just like in this picture, getting their portion. It says a political cartoon depicting Victoria, which is the UK on the very left, Germany, Wilhelm, Nicholas, and France, and Beijing, Japan, dividing Qing China like a carving up a pie. You know, it looks like the guy on the top is trying to halt them, but you see the pie is being split by the West, not even by the West, but by the European powers, which are all Edomites. So they felt like they went through which they did. They had to go through a period of humiliation, just like right now we're going through a period of humiliation. But the scripture says before honor is humility. You know, humility, the root word, humiliation is part of being humble. Right now we're being humble, but guess what? The Lord is going to lift up the head and raise us up. And he's raising the head upon all nations, pursuing Isaiah the 14th chapter. All right. You see Japanese soldiers beheading Chinese prisoners during the First Sino-Japanese War. American troops storming the Peking city walls during the Boxer Rebellion. Soldiers of the 8th National Alliance and the Forbidden Cities. Yeah, so that's Revelation, the 6th chapter, man. You know, of course, not that's talking about mainly now, but this devil did go through these different quarters of these land masses, just slaughtering, destroying, poisoning the water, the food supply. He did it all over. You know, and there's more historical points, but oh, look at that. China had to pay reparations. But anyways, you know, the thing is, they're not really under the curses, which they're not under the curses at all. They were just under a period of being subjugated, you know. Now us, we're under the curses. So they was able to lift up and actually get reestablished their independence. The only country that received a level of independence here out of the West was Haiti. And look at Haiti now. You know, after the French, you know, with Napoleon and you had Toussaint Louverture, but they pretty much fell. And it's recorded as the poorest country within the West. You know, but the point that I'm, you know, making is us, we really had to really drink that cup. But now is the time for this devil to drink the cup. He has oppressed all nations. He has put his foot up the asses of everyone, you know, and celebrated and berated him, you know, berated the nations, you know, he put postcards. Let's not even deal with slavery, because that'll have me talking for another, you know, talking for a whole hour straight, you know, and just for the sake of time, I got work in the morning, you know. But this man went on an aggressive campaign to destroy us. But now it's the time for the chickens to come home to roost, as the elder Taz Dakba would say. Now this is Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The city also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. 22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry the way into captivity. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Yeah, so this is when the tables is turned. As a saying, there's no fun when the rabbit gets the gun. And the Most High has given these different nations the ultimate gun, or the ultimate sword, which is nuclear capabilities. And they're going to use those capabilities as pursuing in Jeremiah the 50th chapter with the arrow. And they're going to blow this place to smithereens. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. You know, so we're in some very, very beautiful times where things are going to take a turning for the better for the elect's sake. You know, so all we got to do is just stay down, stay grounded, stay rooted, you know, and allow the Most High to do his wonderful work. You know, so I didn't want to be too long. You know, I had a few things to cover, but I definitely wanted to continue in the spirit only for the sake of time. So Lord willing, just do a continuation on these other nations too. So with that, I'm going to end by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Shema, Shah, Shema, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostle and others of great millstone. Shalom, Akim, 144 or 11.